So today we're going to talk about Bluetooth transmitters and receivers. These little things are very useful. They've really updated this technology quite a bit, and they're lifesavers for when you have old systems that you just want to use for Bluetooth, or you want to enable Bluetooth on them. And not even just old, if you have newer systems that don't come with Bluetooth, but you want to use Bluetooth with them. So these things are exactly what you need. So we're going to talk about this from right to left here. So let's start with this little dongle here. So this little guy is basically used for powering whatever you want to transmit and receive Bluetooth on. Usually they use these for cars. So you can just plug this into your ashtray charger, cigarette lighter charger, and as long as it has a Bluetooth on it, you can power it. You don't necessarily need to have a computer for this. You can just plug it into a Bluetooth power source, and you plug in a little P2 cable here, these little stereo cables, and this will work fine. And depending on what you're going to use it for, you're going to put transmit or receive here at the side. So you have TX, which is transmit, and RX, which is receive. So depending on what you need it for example, if you want your head unit on your car to receive audio from your Bluetooth cell phone, you don't want to plug any cables into their cell phone, so you basically use one of these. You plug it into the input on your headset unit, and you put this on receive. So it's going to receive the audio from your cell phone and send it to the head unit through the little cable. If you want to do the opposite, you want your head unit to transmit the sound to an external speaker, for example, you would put this on transmit, put this on the output of your head unit. Again, it has to support that, and you can send the sound to an external speaker, for example. So there's 1,000 different applications you can use this for. Really, all you need is your imagination. This one comes with this little hole here, which I suppose is a little mic, so you can use this for a speakerphone on your car. So you can plug this into a power source, put this on receive, and make your calls using this and your cell phone. So if you have a older head stereo unit on your car, you can use this to update it, so you don't have to swap the whole thing out. Also, this works with those adapters. So for example, if your car has an RCA input in the back, you can use an adapter to adapt it to P2, and just plug this in here with the RCA adapter, and you can use it. So this is a very good little unit here. It doesn't have an internal battery, but this wasn't meant to. So you can just plug it in. For home use, you can just plug it into a cell phone charger or something like that, and it's going to work. If you need to have extra space, you can put an extension cord here, a USB extension, and plug it in to a USB power source. Or usually people plug this into their TVs, so they have a USB in the TV. You just plug it in there, again, just to power it, and it's going to work fine. The next one we have here is more a home use device. So this also has transmit and receive. The older units of these only had receive. So the newer ones, they noticed that people also wanted to transmit audio, especially with the newer speakers, the external speakers we have now, and the headphones. So they started putting transmit on these also. The way this one works, you power it using a USB cable also, but this, you just have the micro USB here. So you plug the USB cable here in a charger, and you have the two P2 connectors in here. So same thing. This is to transmit, this is for receiving. Now the way you would use this normally is for a TV, an older TV, let's say, or even a newer TV that doesn't have Bluetooth. So you can plug this in here, and you can have your TV transmit the audio to your headphones, for example. I use that all the time to watch movies at night, You plug it in here, you put transmit, and it's going to transmit the audio to your headset, or you can transmit to external speakers, for example, or you can use this on receive to send your music from your cell phone to your TV. So if your TV supports that type of input, you can send your music directly from your cell phone to your TV. And this has an internal battery, so you don't have to keep it plugged in all the time. So if you want to have a barbecue and you want to use, for example, an old external speaker that didn't have Bluetooth, you can use this for that. So you can send your music from your cell phone to the external speaker using this and the internal battery. Usually don't last that long, the internal battery, but they're there. So this is a great one. This one is used so you can basically use any type of headset unit or headphones that are P2 enabled. If you can plug in a stereo cable, you can use this. This has an internal battery and Bluetooth, so you can send your music from your cell phone to your old headphones or old earpods or whatever. So you don't have to throw those out. You can use it with modern cell phones. So the battery on this thing is not that great. It lasts about 2 hours. I imagine there are various models, so you can probably get one with a bigger battery. But this is a very good solution if you want to keep those old headphones that were really great. You can use it with this. Also micro USB to charge. Another option you have for this is you can use these as wired. So let's say you have a cell phone that only supports or USB-C or Bluetooth for headphones. You can plug this in to a charger beside you, and you can listen on these. That'll also work if you're going to listen, for example, the way I use this, to movies at night. You can just keep this plugged into a charger beside the bed, plug in your headphones here, and the battery won't drain out, so you can listen as long as you want. Very simple to use. It also has a mic here, and mine is kind of faded already because I use this a lot, but basically the functionality here is plus minus to volume. You can also use this to skip tracks, and on-off button, and the pairing button is right here. So it has a little belt clip here, so you can clip it anywhere on your shirt or anything. So very handy, this one. Next one here. This one, the basic difference is it has optical input. So you have these optical inputs here. Okay, so this one is good for modern TVs that only have optical. They don't have the P2 cable anymore. And this one has more detailed settings. It also has aptX, which is one of those new technologies that come along with Bluetooth 5.0 and things like that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong there. But yeah, this has less lag, higher range, a lot of other advantages. But you can get that on any of these as long as you buy a newer model. You buy a model that comes with Bluetooth 5.0, and you can get it on any of these, which is something I highly recommend. If you are going to buy one of these, get the models that already come with Bluetooth 5.0. You're going to get longer battery, less power drain when it's on standby, longer range. You can connect two audio outputs at the same time, so you can have, for example, 2 stereo speakers going. If you are going to buy one of these, get it Bluetooth 5.0. It's just not worth getting the 4.0 anymore. So continuing on this one, you also have P2 on this. This is a little power cable here. It's a Bluetooth micro USB, just like this one, or actually just like any of these except for this one. And on the side here, you have the same default buttons, which is skip, and pairing, a little dedicated pairing button on this one, which is nice. On the other side, you have on-off, transmit and receive, which we talked about before. So also great, and this also has an internal battery. So you can also use this for barbecues and things like that. One big advantage of this is this little display here that shows you what's going on. So you can see if it's transmitting, receiving, anything else. You have a more detailed indication of what's going on with the system, which is always very nice with these, because on something like this, for example, you don't know if it's working, if it's not. It has a little LED indication here, LED, but it's kind of basic. So on this one, you have a more detailed view of what's going on with the device. And lastly, the biggest difference on this is it has NFC, so near field communication technology. So you can use your cell phone to just touch it and pair it if your cell phone has NFC. So most phones today have NFC. Instead of you having to pair it manually, you just touch this thing with the cell phone. After you pair it the first time, it will just automatically pair every time you touch it. This only has a P2 output. It can only receive, it can't transmit, and also micro USB for powering it, but this has no internal battery. So this is used more for home stereo systems, older stereo systems where you didn't have Bluetooth. So you can use this to modernize it, so you can play songs from your cell phone to your stereo system. So that is it, guys. I hope you liked this video. If you did, click on that like, subscribe to this channel if you want to see more of this, and we'll catch you on the next one. GoPro, stop recording.